Gemini, it's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Aries season 2023. Welcome to 2023, for real this time. Happy spring equinox. And we kick off the season with your ruling planet all the way up in Aries already, the sign of I Am. The sun will soon be joining on the 20th. On the 25th, you're losing Mars. And so I feel like there could be a shift or just movement in the realm of your physical, spiritual, and sexual energy. Gemini, be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising. Patreon gets everything first. Patreon.com/justjeverything. For free content, check out my Instasham at justj_everything. TikTok at justjeverything. And for other dope shit that I do, my website, justjeverything.com. Hydrate. Light it if you got it. I actually like this ring on this finger. So, Gemini. Let's create a safe space for our benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth. Thanking you and welcoming in the most useful, helpful, divinely aligned messages for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For Aries season 2023, Gemini, remember and keep in mind that you can clear your energy with sound. I don't know why. I feel like I heard some of you asking, why are you using bells? Bells shift the frequency, the energy. Same thing why you see old crazy ladies banging pots and pans. It moves the energy. And energy is moving for you. I feel like it's time to make sure that you tap into what have you learned from the God of War being in your sign. What are you ready to pioneer? What are you ready to initiate? What's shifted with your relationship to authority, discipline, structure, reliability? There may be shifts in your relationship with your father or father figures or paternal energy or someone with Aries or Scorpio placements. Be sure to check out the Aries season astrology video, though I just gave you a dates. That video has all the important astrological dates and when Taurus is moving in, when Mercury is moving into Taurus and all that good stuff. So be sure to check out that video. Mercury moving into Taurus, I feel like will color our thoughts with stability and things just making sense. It being easier to see what makes sense, especially after murky ass Pisces season. And so let's see. All right, let's dive in, please. For Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. But I definitely feel like there's like a learning not to rush things, learning not to tamper with the pace of things, letting things happen really organically, breaking yourself free. Some of you are like you're breaking free, or you see the ways that you've been keeping yourself stuck. You see the restrictions in the realm of your mind. There's been some sort of self-limiting belief, and it's coming to light. It's getting clear. There's self-limiting beliefs, self-doubt, hurtful thoughts, words, insecurities that have been looping in your mind. For some of you, a legal situation that I feel like is over. Three of Wands on the bottom of the deck, like, or a legal situation or legal issues or legal concerns. I feel like you were looping about them. Maybe you or some of you are recovering from injustices or recovering from some legal situation, like unlearning some sort of restriction. I feel like first thing to be clarified, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, is your relationship to freedom, your relationship to the freedom of your mind. What are you not seeing with the blindfold out? And the thing about this card, and I say it all the time, which drives me crazy, is that if you look, like, these binds are not tight. Like, this would break them out of this. They'd be able to take the blindfold off, and then you'd see that none of these swords are impaling you. There may be just some echoes from the past that need to be, that are echoes from the past, painful cycles from the past that have generated or perpetuated some sort of like cycle in the mind or a loop in the mind. This could be about someone else that has Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements, possibly in their Venus or Mars or Moon or Rising. But I do feel like it's time to understand that there's restrictions in your mind that have caused restrictions of your physical, spiritual, and especially your sexual energy. I do feel like some of you are needing to do clearings of yourself, clearings of your physical space, clearings of your mind, allowing yourself maybe to be more inquisitive, asking yourself more of the hard questions. This could be like, hey, it's time to go to therapy, or time to study more, or time to ask ourselves some hard questions and really do what we can to generate the mental breakthroughs that are needed. I feel like the divine is initiating some mental breakthroughs. The divine is initiating like this way out where you don't see a way. But I do feel like you don't see a way because you haven't allowed yourself to see a way. So Gemini, no more willful blindness. No more like la 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 la, or keeping yourself like closed off from your inner knowing, from your intuition. Some of you have blinded yourself, especially in love, have blinded yourself because you have leaned so much on logic. You've leaned so much on what the list needed, like making sure certain boxes were checked. Making sure that some things were like so secure, certain on the superficial level, that you've kept your that it's like created this imbalance in some sort of way where I feel like you have been relying so much on your physical eyes that you've blinded yourself. There's no more blinding of the third eye. I feel like let go or be dragged. There is some sort of like, you gonna learn today, you're going to be seeing. You need to get yourself in a position where you're willing and comfortable to break these cycles, break these thought processes about yourself. There may be somebody else with Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or Virgo, maybe Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements that you're not seeing clearly, or you haven't seen them clearly, or you're not seeing the cycle or the loop. I feel like also hindsight is a gift that's going to be coming in. The Two of Cups has flashed out twice. So there's definitely something about like not seeing clearly, not seeing love clearly, not seeing equal or fair exchange clearly. That's Venus in Cancer, and the Two of Cups is Venus in Cancer, and Venus is currently in Aries, going to be at home in Taurus during Aries season. And so I do feel like once Venus gets into this sign of I feel, that's probably going to be around your season. Don't wait that long. Whatever is what I feel like, Gemini, you are way too smart to be acting like you don't know what's causing you restriction. Don't play yourself. It's time to like call it by name, say it what it is. There's some, if it's not you, there's someone around you with this really toxic, self-fulfilling prophecy bullshit that they keep looping and looping and looping, and someone around you or someone around you has really toxic cycles. 9 of Swords. And it's just like the next step forward, the next progression for them is dark and toxic as well. And do you need to be around in that process? And if this is you, then it's just like, hey, do you need to, some of you I feel like are struggling with being alone, or struggling with going through heartbreak or pain alone. And there is something about the divine needing you to go through these experiences alone so that you can take the blindfold off and unblind yourself, basically, and tune back into your moral compass, your inner voice. You can reconnect with your spirit, your Ace of Swords. Nice! I told you, it was like someone, y'all are going from the 8 to the 9 of Swords in some arena. And I feel like the 9 is at least the ending. And it may feel like a dark night of the soul, but the divine is like, hey, baby, extract the data from this darkness. I'm trying to hand you power. But if you stay stuck, if you stay in the position that you're in, if you stay in the mindset that you're in, if you stay in this toxic loop where you're going round and round, for some of you this is in love, for some of you this is work, for some of you this is friendship. But I feel like this is about your connection with yourself, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you choose to stay in this position and don't put in the effort and the action to enforce some kind of structure or discipline or breakthrough or initiate a change, you're going to miss out on the fact that the divine's handing you tools to provide you freedom. So yet again, this is something about freedom. There's this new clarity of the mind, this aha moment that wants to come in, powerful conversations, powerful realizations, powerful things that you need to say, poetry and prose, baby. And I feel like I just heard cutting them down to size. There's someone, or maybe you felt cut down to size, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. But I feel like you are persevering in Aries season. There is a new path that's being paved. And at the center of the 9 of Swords, I told you, was again, I knew I'm not taking it, but the 9 of Swords is showing up. Because I do feel like some of you are like, damn, this always happens to me. And it's like, if that's your mindset, and if you keep saying that out loud and you keep confessing that with your mouth, and that's exactly what's going to keep happening, I'll never forget it as long as I live. One of the first things I remember my mom repeatedly saying to me is, I would say something negative and she'd be like, that's your confession and I believe every word of it. And as like a 4 to 6-year-old, that's like, okay, you know what I mean? But I look back and I love that experience because it's taught me to be so fucking immaculate with my word that the divine responds to my shit. And I wish that for you. I want that for you. You have access to that. But it starts in the realm of your mind. It's time to be Gemini, the sign of I think. It's time to be allow yourself to be in the position where you implement the shit that you've learned from Mars being in your sign. The way that you've held yourself back, the ways that you've bit your tongue, the venom you were meant to spew but you never did. I feel like all of that stuff there's like some poison you were meant to release. I don't know who this is for. Yours poison you were meant to release. And you swallowed it and it's making you sick because repressed emotions are how physical ailments manifest in the body. Our secrets and our unspoken shit make us sick unless we learn how to express ourselves and get the shit out. And so there is some sort of dark night of the soul or an ending in the cycle of the realm of the mind that's coming by way of the divine. By way of the almighty, you gonna get this work. You're going to get this influx of information, this aha moment, these tools that are needed to truly help you sever from these toxic connections, these trauma bonds, these abandonment wounds that have not been properly tended to, these issues with the inner child that have been left unresolved. How old is your inner child? Do you know what they're wearing? Do you know what they're doing? Are they just like buck wild baby's kids, a bit like running through a field of daisies, or acting out in a Chuck E. Cheese, or are they crying in a, you know, corner somewhere? It's time to connect with that inner child. It's time to connect with that thing in you that sometimes lets you play cat and save a hoe when people haven't earned it. It's time for you to really allow yourself to get grounded in what's going on with your connection to your physical body, your connection to self-worth, and how that's translating to your money. Some of you want to quit a job. Some of you are like hate what you're doing, and it's because you're not looking at it properly. Some of you want to jump into other things, but you're just not looking at things properly. What you have now is always, and has always been, and will always be, a stepping stone for the next, for what you allow. So if you are confused, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, it's time to do yourself a favor and give yourself some silence so you can ask for the instructions, so you can ask for the order of operations, so you can call out to your benevolent ancestors, call out to your guides, call out to the God of your understanding, or get quiet and tap in to your connection to your higher self so that you can receive the order of operations, so that you can come back with the codes, so that you can get the instructions on how to sever ties from the weight that this is causing. Because some of us have been so afraid to look at our darkness because we've been trained to fear it, because there's data in that motherfucker. There's power in that motherfucker. When you look at that fear, that abandonment, that when you talk to your inner child, there's power you come back with. Tools you come back with that you could have never given yourself had you not gone there. Had you not let it just fucking go there. So this white coming out to the stark contrast of the white to the to like the brick in the Five of Pentacles. There's this like flash of white and then darkness, and I feel like you are a dualistic sign. You are learning how to handle, you're learning how to navigate light. You're learning how to navigate your light. You're learning how to navigate dark. You're learning how to navigate your dark. We're all coming to this awareness that there is no right and wrong. There is no good and bad. There's just, light and dark, and light is not good and dark is not good and dark is not bad. Just like light isn't bad. Shit just is. But what there is just and unjust. I'm doing my best to remove good and bad from my vocabulary and replace it with just and unjust, because that shit just hits different. And justice is a triumph of tarot, and it is this it's just like an upper echelon judicial system. Because ours on the earthly plane is fucked. Especially if you live in America. But what I feel like you're coming into the awareness of, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, is that there is light that has darkness at the core of it. There is darkness that has light at the core of it. There is light that is the purest of light. And there is darkness that is completely devoid and absent of light. And they all need to exist to hold together this game of life, this structure, this matrix that we're in. They all need to exist because science, balance, physics. All right, 3 cards out, and I'm already wrapping y'all up at 20 minutes. Sorry, I told myself I was going to be short with this, but I'm the only one that puts a timeline on this. Y'all don't, and Spirit doesn't, so. All right, Gemini. Sun, Moon, and Rising for Aries season 2023. The 10. Ah! Okay! This makes me think from Aries, from ashy to classy, going from the 5 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles. Because you're being given the tools, babe. And should you be so brave enough to free yourself? Should you be so brave to free yourself and let the divine bring it, let the divine cut those binds. But actually, don't make the divine cut the binds. You do the work. Allow yourself to voluntarily, like how much better will it feel when you voluntarily break your chains? And they're not even chains. But I'm not trying to diminish whatever you're going through. I'm sorry. But whenever you break what has this bind on you, there's this tool, this crown that's waiting for you. And then, yeah, it's like the information that comes in, it shows you how to turn those abandonment wounds, the issues with this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the issues with like all, you know, having all of these like, you know, needy or broken or toxic, you know, attachments or entanglements around you. Like it helps you transmute the dark, your darkest dark into your lightest light. And it helps you transmute your lightest light into your darkest dark, because darkness is not bad. It's just an unfamiliar power source. But there's so much data to extract from that. If only you should free yourself. If only you would take the blindfold on. The blindfold that's on, it needs to come off. And it's going to force you to tend to your mental health. It's going to force you to get your, you know, check in with your head. It's going to force you to get more balanced in regards to the fact that you're a spirit having a human experience, and your spirit needs to be in the driver's seat, and you're needing to make sure that you access your spirit and your logic before you make a decision. Final card, final message. Gemini, this is beautiful reading. Oh, I synced it. I saw it reversed, but it was on the floor reversed, but I saw it upright, and I'm taking it upright, Gemini, because I feel like you're coming into you. Mercury moving into Taurus, I feel like it's really good. Okay, that's what it is. Mercury is moving into Taurus, and it's really going to help you get grounded. It's going to really help you go from ashy to classy. It's going to help you really get structured. I feel like it's going to heal a lot of the wounds that were caused possibly by this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. I feel like it's going to help you unblock your motherfucking throat chakra. I feel like there's some of you, I'm going to show you what came out. The Queen of Swords also came out, but I saw her reversed in it. And so I'm going to have her on the bottom of the deck. I feel like some of you have been motherfucking scared because you know if you really said it, you'd really change it. If you really said it, if you really spoke your truth, if you really put it out there, if you really believed in yourself, if you really bet on yourself, you would shit on these hoes. You would really, really change the game in some way. You would really, really inspire people with the things that you have to say if you allowed yourself to say it. If you allowed yourself to bet on yourself and just like put it out there. I feel like also some of you have been running from your shadow. No mas. No more running from the shadow, because it's helping you build. It's helping you prepare for this brand new beginning that's coming in. The divine reset, the divine clearing that's coming in. And I feel like some of you have been scared to cut off the people that you're lukewarm about, or the cut off toxic connections or attachments, because it's going to force you to move forward and force you to look at the ugliness, or why you did this, why you stayed, why you know, why this, why that, shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's going to make you look at all those things, but you won't be stuck in those things. You're going to look at them and you'll actually understand why. Like, aha, this makes sense. Mercury will be in Taurus, and it's going to make things practical, not while in Pisces, completely abstract, Aries, angry, and then Taurus, like, things will make sense. You know what I mean? And so I do feel like there is this reset that's coming in, and you're going to be able to like go from bag lady, you gonna hurt your back dragging all them bags like that. I guess no one ever told you all you must hold on to is you. Thank you, Erica Badu. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. Thank you, Mercury and Pisces. I'm excited. I'm excited for you because I just feel like you're coming into this realization finally where you realize you have enough. You are enough. Get it poppin'. Let's go. Let's get into it. I'll see you over on Patreon. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.